Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Cage Show, and today I wanted to talk about the Halo Infinite Beta. This weekend I participated in it, and Friday I didn't get a chance to play it because unfortunately they were going to send me an email prior telling me instructions of how to get on and blah blah blah, but they didn't end up sending me that until Saturday. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. But man, I played it Saturday and Sunday, and honestly I was having a lot of fun. Now, just to put this out there, I've never been a big Halo fan. It's something that I've played very occasionally. The reason why I got to play those games mostly is because my brother was a huge fan and we ended up always having the games in the house. So I would end up trying them. I will say 2 was my favorite because of the story. 3 was good as well. I played through the story in that. I played some of 5 and in the multiplayer as well, but I've never been a huge fan of Halo by any means. And the people who know me know that I primarily gamed on the PS4 last gen, and as most may know, unfortunately, PS4 was highly lacking when it came to multiplayer games. So at this point, wherever the multiplayer games are that are good, I'm willing to do whatever I can to seek them out and try them out, and that's why I'm here today checking out the Halo beta. Surprisingly enough, as someone who hasn't really played Halo very much, it was something I would play very occasionally. So far, this beta for me has been really good. Overall, the bones are solid, the foundation is definitely solid. I am thankfully surprised by this. As we all know, the game hasn't exactly had the best development cycle. The unveiling of the game and the gameplay was very lackluster, and honestly, a lot of people were disappointed by it. And unfortunately, it became one of the greatest memed video games ever. But I'm happy to say it seems as though 343 Industries really got to work on this and did a lot of things in order to improve the quality of the game overall, especially visually. This is the first beta I've been involved in with this game, and I'm playing it on my Xbox Series X on a 4K TV, and I could say very confidently the game looks very clean. The visuals look very crisp. I don't see jaggies. The textures look very good. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed, especially after viewing what we did see the first time when they showed gameplay of the game. Some people are saying that the game doesn't run at 4K, and to be honest, I wouldn't be necessarily surprised by that. When it comes to multiplayer games, sometimes they will downgrade the resolution a bit. They did that with Killzone Shadowfall with the multiplayer. They basically downed the multiplayer to 720p. I'm assuming, obviously, in order to make sure that the game runs at a solid frame rate. And I'm happy to say that with the Halo Infinite beta, the frame rate was locked 60. I didn't feel any frame rate drops at all. To me, that is the most important thing, especially when it comes to a competitive game. I cannot complain about how the game performs overall. I really don't see the point of people being upset that the game isn't hitting 4K. Honestly, it didn't bother me when Killzone Shadowfall didn't hit full HD on multiplayer, so for Halo Infinite's multiplayer not hitting 4K, I really don't see the big deal. To me, frame rate is everything. I will sacrifice anything for a solid frame rate, and thankfully they made sure to put that first and foremost with the beta from what I've seen so far. One thing that I have definitely always appreciated about Halo is their simplistic map design. It really keeps me focused on what's going on in the battle. It doesn't draw my attention elsewhere. And honestly, that is something that is the same with Halo Infinite. The maps are very simplistic, but they're well designed. I don't find myself getting spawn killed. I think maybe that happened like once and I was on Capture the Flag. So I think so far the spawn system seems to be really good. Something I wish Call of Duty would get together already after how many years of me playing it, but that is a great thing that I really appreciate so far. Another huge plus to the game has been the lighting overall. When you're in bright areas, it feels well lit, it doesn't feel over the top. And the same thing goes for dark areas in certain maps. It's dark, but you could still see very well, and you don't have a problem. The shadowing is there, and it looks crisp, but it feels as though it's kept to a very simplistic level, and I think honestly that's to put gameplay first, which is absolutely fine by me. Where things start to get a little iffy with me is specifically with movement. Now, general movement feels really good, getting around on the maps feels fine, but honestly, the sliding feature just feels really slow and almost pointless in my opinion. I don't really see people sliding too much, and I don't really see the advantage of the slide. It's not like Destiny where if you slide, you definitely like throwing yourself in that slide, whereas with Halo, it is very slow and very mundane. I think that honestly, they have to make some form of change there to improve that to actually make it worth doing. Most of the guns feel pretty decent to use, but when I was using I believe it is the VK-78 commando gun, when I was aiming down sights, for some reason when I was getting shot at, it would just force me out of the sights mode. And that was really jarring when I was in the middle of a gunfight because I think it's some form of glitch where I just keep going in and out of sights, which honestly really is a disappointment because I think if they fix that, the gun would actually be a gun I preferred using. And mind you, that gun really does remind me of Killzone Shadowfall. I think a lot of this game honestly just reminds me of Killzone Shadowfall from some of the map designs, the guns, the movement, the way the game starts and ends when you're looking at your character. I mean, it could be me and could be just weird, but I'm feeling like some Killzone Shadowfall vibes from this game. One thing I really wish they didn't take from Killzone Shadowfall is the way you level up in the game. Now, it seems as though there is no XP at all for basic performance in the game. You seem to level up in this battle pass by essentially completing challenges. And while I don't see this being as egregious as the way it was in Killzone Shadowfall, because at one point I just stopped leveling up altogether in Killzone Shadowfall, I don't really see this as feeling very rewarding. It feels kind of slow and mundane. That, to me, I wish they would fix. I want to get XP from my overall contributions in the game as well. One highly concerning thing in this game to me is the aiming. Now, when it comes to an Xbox controller, the aiming for me has never been the best. Honestly, the sticks have just never felt right to me. And here, it really doesn't change. I have a really hard time aiming. As I played more, I got more used to the way the aiming is, but I never felt truly comfortable in this situation. So I don't know if that's because of the Xbox controller itself or because of the design of the game, but it's definitely worth noting. It's a very important part of the game, and I hope it does get improved. Another thing that does concern me about this game specifically is the spamming of grenades. It's something I noticed early on, and honestly, I ended up doing it myself. I end up chucking like 2 grenades and just running around the field finding other grenades to chuck. It is a chucking contest of grenades. I think that they should find a way to slow this down a little bit. I think it is way over the top. I need to make a mental point to use the grappling hook more, as well as the other pickups you can get off the battlefield. I did try out the grappling hook, and from what I played of it, it's actually pretty cool. It could definitely leave a lot of gameplay options open, so I definitely want to mess with that some more. The game modes I played the most in said order were Slayer, Control, and Capture the Flag, and they all seem to serve their purpose. Next week is Big Team Battles, and I'm definitely excited to check out Big Team Slayer. I honestly think that this could be a breakout for that game mode because of all the crap that you could do, especially with the grappling hook. So definitely will be playing next week. From what it feels like so far, Halo Infinite seems to be fighting for my time once this holiday season comes around because I haven't really seen much from Battlefield. Still waiting for more gameplay on that. But here I am playing this Halo Infinite beta, and so far, while I think there's some things that definitely do need to be fixed and addressed, I think that overall this game seems pretty solid in its foundation, which is a great plus, especially coming from the rather lackluster things early on, and the fact that they had to delay it for over a year. So overall, good stuff. Let me know if any of you guys have played the Halo Infinite beta, what you guys think about it. Is this a game that you guys are at all interested in? Because I know that some people are kind of like, don't feel like getting Xbox Series X for this, or, you know, maybe their PC won't run it. Honestly, my PC won't run mine, so that is definitely another reason why I got an Xbox Series X. I definitely wanted to see what this game is all about. So, overall, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below if you can. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and that's about it. With all that being said, I'm out. Peace.